searched him on his person. They said they've begun going through them, encrypting some of them and giving them back to the defense. That will take some time. There are going to be some motions in this case. One of those was addressed today.
Hey, I'm gonna show out. It's just my life. You can't get mad. Get the off my page. Tell me, I'm gonna show out. I ain't no show out. I earn my shit the hard way. It happened. And I can't say if it is or it's not a mistake. But things happen in life.
Asked for an investigation into leaks, saying that they believe the government, he suggested that the government was trying to, he accused the government of making a takedown of a successful.
Because the most jaw-dropping financial drama in boxing history might be unfolding right before our eyes. Floyd "Money" Mayweather Jr., the man who once wiped his nose with $100 bills, who reportedly slept on mattresses stuffed with cash, who made 50 cents look like a charity case that is allegedly, shockingly, unbelievably broke. Or is he?
Look at Floyd. Like, Floyd spends money like it's a tap. Like, he's got a tap, just like unlimited amount of money. Money's just flowing. And even as much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever, like, there's all these lawsuits. Like, he hasn't been paying things, and he owes money on this and owes money on that. And it's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I think it's just the lifestyle that Floyd lived.
Yes.
I think he can't fathom to just...
That's the multi-million-dollar question shaking the internet to its core. And today we are diving deep into the chaos, the conspiracies, and the cold, hard claims that have the whole world asking, did Money Mayweather actually run out of money? Let's set the scene. One ordinary day on social media. A platform that has destroyed careers, exposed secrets, and started more wars than any battlefield. A bomb dropped.
Live a modest lifestyle. It's like he gotta be lavish.
Right. He's got to have those videos where he shows you all the watches, where he opens the case up, you know.
All the money. He gotta show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the latest watch and the latest car, and look what I just bought.
And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, you get into that, like, boy, that money goes quick.
Yeah.
Bugattis are like $3 million. There's watches that are $3-5 million. That's crazy. So you buy a watch and a car, you're down 10. That's
Users began sharing what appeared to be leaked bank statements, allegedly tied to none other than Floyd Mayweather himself. And these weren't just mildly concerning numbers. No, no, no. We're talking negative balances. We're talking massive liabilities. We're talking numbers so catastrophically bad that your broke college roommate would feel like Warren Buffett by comparison.
Ladies and gentlemen, chaos broke out. And I'm not talking about legit, bona fide boxing, pure boxing chaos. I'm talking about the kind of stuff that's just embarrassing. Look at this here, please.
The internet collectively gasped, screamed, refreshed their feeds, and screamed again. Within hours, Mayweather bankrupt was trending harder than a championship fight. And everyone from financial analyst to your uncle who thinks he understands money because he has a savings account was weighing in with their hottest takes.
You are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather. Everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never going to stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. His head did a 180 before he fell on his face. To report to you that I'm incredibly disappointed in one of my all-time favorite fighters.
But here's where it gets spicy. Deliciously, dramatically spicy. The alleged source of these devastating documents? CNN. That's right, people were boldly claiming that the most recognizable news network on the planet had somehow obtained and published Floyd Mayweather's personal bank statements. Sounds absolutely explosive, right? Except...
one of the reasons why people watch him fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my fucking jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like, he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like, this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but when I'll show you, when I'll show up, I bring out the big boy, and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like $5 million. And so you hate him.
And that Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment. His private jet fuel, he's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets, and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million loan from a individual, from a billionaire that had a 9.
And this is where the whole house of cards starts wobbling. Nobody could actually verify this. The documents circulating online were heavily redacted, suspiciously formatted, and about as officially certified as a receipt written on a Wendy's napkin. No CNN broadcast, no verifiable timestamp, no journalists staking their career on it. Just blurry screenshots flying around the internet at the speed of gossip, being shared by people who desperately wanted the story to be true.
So if certain people want to wear, true religions, certain people want to wear Jordans, I don't knock that. We all got to start from somewhere. I buy my kids Jordans all the time. You know what I'm saying? And at one particular time, I was wearing True Religion jeans, and I still don't knock True Religion jeans. You know why? Because that's a multi-billion-dollar company. You have to start from somewhere. So, I'm not here to knock nobody. We all live our life the way we want to live our life. Now, see, my lifestyle is a little different. I dress different, because I'm in a different tax bracket. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I dress different. I do things different, because I'm in a different tax bracket. I'm around different type of money.
We're not stressing over it.
The leaked statement smelled less like a CNN expose and more like someone's creative Thursday afternoon project. Unverified, unconfirmed, and screaming for fact-checking that never came. But just when you thought the drama couldn't possibly escalate, it escalated. Whispers began circulating that federal agents had allegedly conducted raids on properties connected to Mayweather in not one but 2 cities: Miami, Las Vegas. 2 of the most glamorous, high-rolling cities on the planet, and allegedly, the feds came knocking. Now let that sink in for a moment. Federal agents, properties, 2 cities. If this were a Netflix series, you'd be binge-watching until 4 a.m.
All right. Now, Floyd Mayweather Jr., there's a story circulating that Business Insider did talking about this $400 million property deal that he had been discussing here in New York City. But now, according to Business Insider, it's not what you think it is. They said there's no evidence there's been a sale of these properties, and it's 62 rental apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. Here is what Floyd Mayweather had said at the time on a video that he posted on his Instagram.
I love bringing the people into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low.
The allegations painted a picture of a financial empire quietly crumbling behind the velvet ropes and private jets, while the world outside was still busy counting the man's money. Of course, the details remained murky, the sources remained unnamed, and the evidence remained as elusive as Mayweather's opponents trying to land a clean punch. But the rumor mill? Oh, it was churning at full capacity. And then, as if the story needed any more seasoning, in walks the cryptocurrency controversy.
That money to the IRS, how much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to
it's
pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this. He makes so much money. There's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Stephen A. Smith, television's loudest, most passionate voice in sports media, a man physically incapable of whispering, was featured prominently in discussions surrounding Mayweather's alleged involvement in questionable crypto dealings. Because of course he was. Because when you're building a narrative about a flamboyant boxing legend possibly losing his fortune, you absolutely need the most dramatic sports commentator alive to add his perspective. Mayweather's history with cryptocurrency promotions had long been controversial, with critics arguing that some ventures he publicly endorsed walked a very fine line, a line that regulators and investors were paying very close attention to.
Is made, and because he's the best in the history of pay-per-view at making sure that the money ends up in his pocket. He is or has been a businessman as an athlete that almost doesn't have a peer because he owns all his own stuff as an independent. Your spending has to be so fiscally irresponsible to lose the amount of money that Floyd Mayweather has lost that it is almost beyond anything that is reason. It's not merely fiscal insanity. It's something that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. And another sign of him maybe in financial trouble is, as of February 2026, Floyd Mayweather has initiated a massive $340 million lawsuit against Showtime Networks and former executive Steven Espinoza. So he's trying to get some bread right now.
The estimate is that he made over $1.2 billion over the course of his career in just earnings from fight.
The crypto world had already claimed plenty of victims who thought they were untouchable. Was Money Mayweather next on that list? The allegations certainly wanted you to think so. Now, let's talk about the property bombshell, because this one is genuinely fascinating. Reports emerged suggesting that certain lavish properties Mayweather had publicly associated himself with, presenting himself as the proud owner in social media posts and interviews, may not have actually been his at all. Instead, they were allegedly part of promotional brand partnerships.
I mean, things that they said in this article were insane. That Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment. His private jet fuel, he's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million loan.
What's wrong with that? And why are we attempting to tease Floyd? Is Floyd? Yes, he's broke. Of course he's broke. He's a boxer. Did they say he can't read? That's not to tease him. They say that he can't read. His best friend at the time said that he can't read, and he never denied it. I don't tease him for it. He was a guy who grew up in a boxing gym, right? It's one of these things. You know what you know. You know what you were taught. I didn't teach him about contracts. I didn't teach him about saving. I didn't teach him about investments. Who would have taught him these things? Of course he's broke.
Partnerships deals where Mayweather essentially played the role of wealthy owner in exchange for exposure and business arrangements, without the properties ever appearing on his personal balance sheet. Think about the genius and the absurdity of that simultaneously. The man whose entire brain...
He's got baby mamas all over the... What do you mean is he broke? Of course he's broke. What boxer do you know that isn't broke? What a ridiculous question. But it's the fact that they're attempting to tease him. I mean, first off, they're asking the question. Look, I've told you until I'm blue in the face. The numbers that you hear in boxing simply aren't true. Floyd made $1 billion. No, he didn't. Floyd and Conor made $500 million. No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Nobody's ever confirmed that. And it's the same thing with the check. I got $100 million for a fight. Oh, you did? Who signed the check? Whoever signed the check is going to want credit for it. There's never been a time that $1 million check was written and the dude that wrote the check didn't make sure that somebody found out he wrote the check. So who wrote the check? Floyd's got a whole bunch of them, apparently. He got $1 billion. Who wrote?
And is built on having more money than anyone could possibly spend, may have been renting the lifestyle for the cameras. The penthouses, the mansions, the background flex real estate that made every Instagram post look like a Forbes cover shoot. Potentially borrowed scenery in the theater of Money Mayweather. If true, it wouldn't make him the first celebrity to blur the line between owned wealth and borrowed the imagery. But given that his nickname is literally Money, the irony would be absolutely delicious. But Floyd Mayweather, the man, the myth, the human highlight reel of conspicuous consumption, was not about to sit quietly while the internet buried him financially. Oh, absolutely not.
And I'm only sharing with you, like, the numbers aren't what you think they are, right? The numbers are good, and they made a lot of money, but it's not what you think it is. And, yeah, of course Floyd's broke. Would you be boxing if you weren't? And it's very tough to be...
In a move that was perfectly on brand and almost poetically predictable, Mayweather fired back the only way he knows how, by showing the money. He took to social media and presented what he claimed was a check paid directly to the IRS, reportedly worth a staggering $18 million. $18 million paid to the taxman as a flex. As a "how dare you question my wealth" statement directed at every skeptic, every gossip account, and every person who gleefully shared those unverified bank statements. While most people hide from tax conversations like they owe money they don't have, Floyd Mayweather literally waved his tax payment around like a victory flag. Whether you believe the check was legitimate or considered it the world's most expensive piece of social media theater, you have to admire the audacity. That is championship-level clapback energy, and it was absolutely vintage Mayweather. So here's the ultimate question this whole wild, chaotic, beautifully messy story leaves us with. Where exactly does the character end and the reality begin? When you've spent decades performing wealth as a professional strategy, when your entire identity is architecturally built on the display of financial dominance, when you've turned your tax returns into social media content, the lines between the Floyd who counts cash on camera and the Floyd sitting privately with accountants become genuinely impossible to read from the outside. Are the bankruptcy rumors completely fabricated internet nonsense cooked up by people with too much time and too little journalistic integrity? Quite possibly. Are there genuine financial complexities and controversies swirling around one of boxing's greatest ever earners? Almost certainly. The truth, as it almost always does, probably lives somewhere between the leaked statement hysteria and the $18 million IRS flex. But one thing is absolutely undeniable. Floyd Money Mayweather has once again reminded the entire world that whether he's counting it, spending it, paying it to the government, or defending its very existence against viral rumors, absolutely nobody on this planet does money quite like Money Mayweather. And honestly, the show isn't over yet.